Okay, so it seems like we have even more news about Ananta. If you don't know, Ananta is a new gacha game that's actually coming out. I think this year. It's coming out pretty soon. And obviously, it used to be called Project Mugen, what everybody knew it by. But now they've done a little bit of rebranding. They've released that trailer that we saw. I did a reaction to it. Honestly, absolutely amazing. And people are very excited to see what can kind of happen with this game. Now, we actually have even more information about the testing that happened in China. There's some offline testing going on. And also, there's a lot of people confused about like some of the updates and what they actually mean in terms of this kind of information. Because there are some kind of like misleading, I wouldn't say misleading, but like misunderstood kind of statements, which a lot of people are going absolutely crazy over, when in fact, it's not actually the case. So let's just get into it. Obviously, this person on the Ananta official subreddit says, I've summarized the key points about Ananta's first day of offline testing based on information shared by Chinese users across various social media platforms. If anyone has additional information or corrections, please feel free to share. The overall opinion seems to be unanimous that the game was not a PV fraud, but rather the game content was exactly as seen in the PV, which again is very, very promising. Obviously, this means that, you know, the kind of trailer that we had for Ananta kind of represents what we're going to see in the game, which was kind of criticism that a lot of people had, because obviously the PV looks good, but it's like, okay, what does the actual game look like? Because this is a lot of pre-rendered stuff. We're not seeing much of the game, but it is good to see that it seems like it did live up to the kind of trailer that is, that's been released. And they say, in general, the report indicates that the work is much more ambitious than previously expected. So let's just have a look. So the first point, obviously, at the game start screen, players can choose between single player and multiplayer modes. There are no more stamina restrictions for movement, and the game features both vehicle driving and Spider-Man-like traversal methods. So that's really cool. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to be able to, it's going to be like GTA Online, where you can actually go about and there'll be other people around in the world. Maybe that's going to be an aspect of the multiplayer mode, or maybe it's going to be something completely different where you can actually play multiplayer games or something like that instead. But it would really be cool to have like a kind of open world thing where you can interact with other people and other, characters running around the world. I think, honestly, going for that GTA kind of style would be really, really interesting. Now, obviously, they go on to the second point saying, unlike GTA, players cannot attack the NPCs. However, there's extensive object interaction. Players can carry NPCs, take them away, take away chairs NPCs are sitting on, and grab NPCs' phones. Though NPCs resist if you try to steal them. You can knock an NPC's smartphone out of the hand and peek into its contents. It is possible to spy on a vast history of chat logs, leading to the speculation that AI generation technology might be in use. To add, it seems to mean that you do all sorts of bad things to NPCs, like punching and shooting them, but you can't damage them. You can't kill them or knock them down. It doesn't mean that they can't slip through like in a typical gacha game. So again, it seems like, in terms of NPC interactions, which is a big thing that happens in GTA, I don't think there is going to be much kind of combat in, you can't really do anything to them apart from just like bully them. It seems like, pull their chair away, take their phone or whatever, but you can't actually go ahead and just like beat them up or something like you can in like GTA, things like that, which is a little bit disappointing, but we can kind of expect that because it is a Chinese game. They're not really going to allow stuff like that to happen. Now, obviously, we're going to number 3. They say NPC density varies depending on the location, which I think that's pretty cool. Number 4, there are no character or weapon gacha systems. Now, obviously, this is a point that a lot of people were misled on. So this is still a gacha game. Don't get it twisted. This is still a gacha game. There are still weapon and character banners. It's just in this testing, and a person actually clarifies further down in the comments. It's very important to note here, a lot of gachas in early betas don't have a character summoning system, which I think is fine, obviously, because, that isn't really the main game. Well, for some people it is the main gameplay, but for, Ananta, which is a big open world kind of area with all these characters, NPCs, the gacha system is just a small part of a big project. So I feel like the gacha system will just be added on later on. I feel like, a lot of people were going, oh my god, this doesn't have a gacha system or something like that. They finally listened. No, it's still going to have a gacha system. You're still going to have characters to pull. And I think a lot of people were very confused on that. But we can keep going on, obviously saying the subway transportation is available. That would be very cool, just riding on a subway throughout the open world. Number 6, all minigames shown in the PV are implemented, including mahjong, fitness activities, and basketball. That's going to be really cool. Obviously, I really like the kind of, I think they were playing darts or something like that. It looked really, really cool and interesting. So it would be nice to just try those out around the world, and it would just give you something to do. Obviously, Zone Zero had the arcade mode, which a lot of people really, really like, Zone Zero, I have literally logged into the game, gone to the arcade to do a daily quest or something, and then just kind of got lost there for like 2 hours and went, oh, I should probably stop playing the game, and actually didn't play any of the game and just played the arcade mode. So it would be interesting if there's going to be something like that where, you know, you can get engrossed and immersed into the world, maybe have some leaderboards, because obviously in Zenless they have leaderboards which people can kind of like compare themselves and get in the top kind of percentage of, you know, players, which maybe would be an interesting thing to add in here, because obviously people would want to compete with other people in terms of these kind of sports, even though they're kind of made up. But we keep going. You say characters can make video calls to each other. That's really cool. Obviously, you know, it's 2025 now. You can actually see that they're trying to implement like modern technology and not just kind of keep us stuck in like 2015 or something like that, where like a lot of this stuff, you know, maybe didn't exist as much. Now, obviously, we can keep going. Obviously, characters have customizable outfits with clothing compatibility between characters of the same gender. For example, once you obtain a swimsuit, it can be worn by all female characters. Parts of each costume can be disassembled and combined freely. That's actually really cool. I'm guessing you can also do that on the character, like the gacha characters, if you can just like kind of like mix and match clothes and things like that. Honestly, that's a really, really exciting thing that I think is very underrated, because, you know, obviously it's kind of the norm in a lot of gacha games just to do skins and just give out skins. Whereas this, you can actually customize your character a little bit more and have a little bit more of customization even with a gacha character. Now, maybe this is only for the MC or whatever you want to call it, but I really hope this is for the actual gacha characters as well, because I think that's going to be a very unique feature that Ananta can actually bring to, you know, gacha gaming as a whole. Now, we keep going. They say many buildings and shops can be entered seamlessly, though some locations require loading screens. That's fine. Obviously, you know, some kind of areas having no loading screens is already a W. Obviously, you know, a lot of places need loading screens anyways. So yeah, pretty cool. I think that's, you know, pretty cool. Now obviously they go, there are reports of AI conversation systems with NPCs similar to other NetEase games. Note, this is only confirmed by one leaker, so this is a leaker thing. So, you know, we can't really verify this at all. But the use of AI, I think it could be good as long as they're not using it in terms of like the character design or anything like that. As long as it stays away from the character models and you're using it for like chat engines, things like that, where you can actually like chat on a phone to make it more like immersive. I think that could be quite cool. I don't really have a problem with chat AI. It's like, you know, it's just text. You know, you're not really taking away anyone's job with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I honestly think that's really cool that they're kind of adding that, because it can make it seem a lot more immersive. Now, obviously, it's going to be quite hard because it's like, how polished is this kind of AI system? How many restraints have they added? Because I'm sure if they do add an AI system into the kind of texting, for example, let's just say you can text someone through messages. Would someone be able to like text and try to find like a workaround around the AI to make them say some pretty horrible stuff? We don't really know. So that's going to be very interesting to see if that happens, and even in the beta test, if that kind of happens. Now, obviously, we keep going. They say there's also a story as a bonus only in the test version. The female characters were not wearing spats and one could see their okay, that's, whoa, okay, that's crazy. You can see their underwear. Okay, great, good update, Ananta, great. Jesus Christ. As a supplement, the wire action has been improved and actually hooks into the building with every switch. They're not a fictional representation of a wire suddenly hanging down from the air. Regarding criminal behavior, while you cannot harm the NPCs, there is a vehicle requisition system implemented that allows you to take any vehicle in the city. You can collide with other vehicles, which again is very cool. Obviously, I think with NTE it was kind of hard, and with some other games you couldn't really collide with vehicles. But obviously, you know, colliding with other vehicles around Ananta would be really, really fun. They say, but this can accumulate crime points, and when it reaches 100%, you're forcibly arrested and taken to the police station. In other words, unlike GTA, you don't engage in shootouts. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's kind of bad. Having a crime meter would be cool, obviously like the star system in GTA, but it seems like you just reach a gauge and then you get sent to prison. Yeah, I don't really like that. I think that, you know, a cool chase would be cool, but oh well, you know, you can't have everything. But honestly, the rest of it looks pretty cool. You say you can actually watch movies at the cinema in the game. The movie content was produced by university students. Damn, okay, that's pretty cool. Actually watching a full film in the cinema. Okay, cool. And then we say information also exists that a dating system will be implemented. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here comes all the parasocials, which will allow all the users to play amusement parks, games, sports, and stuff like that with the characters. It's turning into Love and Deep's face, bro. start going on dates with all the characters. Oh my god. I mean, there's got to be some kind of gameplay to it, I guess. And they say, and this is the final point, they say, at the conference held by the development team after the offline test, there was an interesting statement I'd like to share. All cutscenes in Ananta were rendered in real time, which means changes in character outfits and directly reflected in scenes. Are directly reflected in scenes. However, this caused the frame rate to drop to just a few FPS and sometimes to crash, even on high-end PCs. The game optimization still needs significant improvement, except for cutscenes. Most scenes run at 4K 60 FPS at highest settings without any problems. So it seems that there is a little bit of problem in terms of kind of running the game. That is to be expected, seeing as it seems like a pretty high quality game in general. But hopefully they can kind of get a hold of that. They can kind of fix it because, you know, a lot of these kind of updates that they're kind of talking about has me really excited for the game. And I can't wait until the beta test, and not only the offline beta test and stuff, but also like, you know, whenever the game actually comes out, the release, oh my god, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so, like a little bit of a breath of fresh air in terms of gacha game genres. Obviously, we've had Wuthering Waves and stuff, but, you know, let's be real, Wuthering Waves, you know, it's similar to like Genshin in terms of open worldness and things. You know, we've already had games like that, but it is nice to have Ananta, which is something completely new, I would say, or at least from what I've seen, is completely new and completely different. So I'm very excited for it, and let me know down in the comments if you guys were excited for this, because these are some very exciting updates that they found from the offline test. Obviously, there are some things to be improved on, and hopefully they do improve it in the future. And let me know down in the comments what feature you're, you know, most excited for, because these all look really, really, really cool, and I can't wait for this game to come out. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, then don't forget to leave that like and subscribe. And as I said, go over to GamerSubs, use my code Kaza. I don't promote this enough on my second channel. Go over there, it'll be down in the link in the description below. They got a ton of really, really cool stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.